30s. Before that, it was not used as a museum, but today it is part of the Hemitage Museum. And we'll start our acquaintance with Hemitage from that building. So
this is the Hermitage of St. Petersburg.
With the Hemitage, and when here I would like to remind you that the date of the founding of this museum is considered to be 1764. 1764, when Russian Tsarina Catherine II, now you know, this lady, bought 225 paintings from the private collection of German merchant Joachim Gatzkowski. So this collection was taken to Petersberg, and especially for that collection, she ordered to build a small building, a small house, which was connected with her residence with the winter.
Oh, mine's here somewhere. I forgot.
Ladies and gentlemen, the name of the room we are now in is Small Throne Hall, and you understand why. So it's the original throne of Russian Tsars. If I have British tourists, for them it would be interesting to know that this English work of the 18th century, English masterpiece. Sometimes this room is also known under the name Peter's Memorial. Peter I could not live in this palace. As you know, Peter died in 1725, and the construction of the Winter Palace we are now was started in 1740.
This is a candelabra.
Well, as you have noticed, they do not give special overshoes for the visitors here, and that's why from time to time they restore the floors, and then it's possible to give to all of us slippers. Then we will waste so much time. Okay, so we can move.
Take that in. Good.
Yes, fortunately, this museum has Nazi stores were in the outskirts of the city, they were never in the city. So the museum, this museum was not destroyed like those of the outskirts we have seen. Remember that 1812, Russian Emperor Alexander
Just one extravagance after another. One self-idolatry.
was decided to create a special gallery that was portraits of the participants of those battles. So on the walls you can see portraits of top officers and generals of the Russian army who participated in that war. Some frames are empty.
What a travel extravagance for such frivolity as a picture of notables, whoever these people are.
Ceremonial hall, of course, the most expensive materials were used for its decoration. What I mean, the walls, and we are without any slippers.
This was the small Hermitage, which restricted to one room, apparently.
To a certain extent, it was just the very strict. Anyway, since 1949, in the collection, I would like to repeat that it is one of the earliest works.
We're going so fast we have not a clue of what we're doing or what we're seeing.
Gilded bronze tortoiseshell. Because of this combination, they look so nice. And of course, Bull had a lot of followers in Europe. There were many imitators of his style. And here in Russia, they also were fond of his art. And in the palaces of Russian czars, many rooms.
Looks like a jewelry case of some sort.
No, he's in his 20s. Oh, yes.
Dolphin. The subject was borrowed from Greek mythology, and you surely know that. The boy and the dolphin was here, Lute of Raphael, is the exact copy of famous Raphael. Come in, please don't stay there. Come in. Is the exact copy of famous Raphael lodges in Vatican Church, in Italy, in Rome. Well, I told you, Russian Tsarina Catherine II, she was fond of Italian art, and she wanted to have here not only originals but even copies of Italian art. For this reason, a group of copyists was sent to Italy, and under the leadership of German master Gutenberg, they started to work there in Vatican. Coming back to Petersberg, they made 52 frescoes by Raphael, painted 52 frescoes, which were exact copies of Raphael lodges in Vatican. I mentioned the exact copies, but there is one exception. The famous Medici house. Well, we don't know what happened. The painting is Lute player. Lute is a young man, young boy, playing his musical instrument. Now, Carravagio was the white
Carravagio, the lute player. Big giant slab or whatever this is turning.
And that was the first building of all this complex to be built for visitors. Actually,
The room is completely filled with tapestries, which were like wall insulations. Probably more brilliant in color. They're moving at the speed of light too here.
even the car bolts you can see are on the same places. This room is interesting perhaps from historical point of view. You surely heard about Russian revolutions, and you surely know that there were 3 of them. The main one which changed the life of this country took place, happened in October of 1917. And those days, from the February Revolution of 1917 up to October, in this small dining room that Kerensky's government in 13th century. In 1240, he managed to defeat Swedish feudal.
And stairway. They're working on a new passenger terminal for ships, cruise ships like this, but they have not finished it yet. And so we're down in the very industrial commercial shipping area. Down there you can see huge buildings. Don't know whether those are residential or commercial. These trucks are loaded with scrap iron or scrap metal that looks like they're going to be waiting to dump it somewhere, perhaps on that ship. On the road into here, there's some large lots that are filled with metal. And of course, this is some kind of a depository for metal, perhaps to be processed into the icebreakers, research ships, and submarines that they make in St. Petersburg. This is the view looking south, and we're still in port. We'll be in port for another day and a half. We're in the industrial area. It's temporarily, which in Russian terms in the way of construction could mean many years, in the commercial harbor. We're looking down on a little bit smaller cruise ship. Don't know what these kind of ships are here. Maybe liquid gas ships or something like that. I don't know. You can see the phalanxes of huge plain block buildings. Whether they call them apartments or commercial, it doesn't make much difference. They're ugly. It's sad. It takes a long time before you can justify tearing them down, particularly in a country that doesn't have the money to even keep the outsides looking decent. Hopefully they're on an upward trend and that will accelerate economically. Curious what kind of ship that is. I don't know what these people are, if they're just taking a picnic or if they are what you might call homeless people who live on the river. Has that look about it. But it may not be. The penchant for nondescript huge buildings, I think, reflects the Stalinistic era. But I don't know that there was a really big difference after that in either intent or construction. Everywhere you look, it's huge buildings, almost devoid of any kind of uniqueness in architecture. And at least the ones we saw earlier, littered with all kinds of strange accoutrements on the outside, including laundry, and no maintenance of the outside at all. But this also looks like a place where people can go for a walk along that path, and that's a good thing. Little view of the megalithic size of this ship. 13 stories that we can go to, and additional stories beyond that, serving different functions. I can't figure out what these old rusted containers are for. They have two ports on the top, of course, and I saw one of them that was filled with a white material. Don't know what it is, don't know what its purpose is. Just seems in the United States you don't see containers that are that unkempt. Now, whether we spend a lot of money continually restoring them or refurbishing them or not, I don't know. There's some of the iron or metal piles up there that they are planning on recycling, I'm sure. And it looks like it's in these trucks down here. These look like huge plates of steel, probably 8 inches thick at least, maybe even greater. Can't tell from here, just a guess. Just seems that all that you're seeing that looks shabby is the product of the huge buildings that seem so grotesque almost, are just products of that nasty experiment of communism, including those 20 central heating plants. In other words, the people in their apartments get one temperature of water, period, and they can't adjust it. Can't adjust it. What sense does that make? Kind of a sleek looking boat over there, don't know what it is. Now you can see in there that there's something white. I don't know what it is. Don't know where it's coming from. But where they're picking up some more of those containers, it looks like more white stuff hanging around there on the ground. So it looks like they're going to dump that stuff in there. Then they'll, on that bin that's attached to the crane, and then they'll take that and dump it in that ship's hold and haul it off somewhere to be processed, I suppose. Containers that bring the stuff in, even down along here, and then bring it to this building somehow, which then is able to load up these boxcars. Or maybe it's the reverse. Looks like an emergency vehicle.
So despite we now can judge freely about Stalin, and we can speak more about our past, about communistic past that was strictly forbidden in the time of USSR certainly, so we can say that Stalin was not a perfect leader, as so many people were killed during his terrors, during his purge. The monument to the first communist leader, to Vladimir Lenin. Nowadays people call him Dancing Lenin. 3 years, exactly 900 days, And the place that we both places
Dedicated
that
to the
we're going
siege
to
of
see, that both towns,
Leningrad.
they're occupied by Nazis, so we'll speak about